Okay, here we go. This is our lecture for Design 350. The recording is on. It's Tuesday the 12th at 11 a.m. and we are on a Google Meet. So this week we are doing what we call a midterm review, where you get to demonstrate your knowledge. We're not going to do anything new. That's why I call it a midterm review. You get to demonstrate your knowledge that you have absorbed and gained over this last little period. So here we go. Let's take a look at it now. So everything's here. You will need AutoCAD. You will need Revit. We've used both of those. You could do it all in Revit if you wanted. You could probably do it all in AutoCAD, but as we've been doing it, XYZ stuff, we've been, welcome in, Eric. XYZ stuff we've been doing in Revit, and some of the azimuth stuff we've been doing in AutoCAD. So that's what we've got going. It's our midterm review. We will have lectures and labs going on, as always. The labs, we're not going to be doing anything new, but I'm going to be sort of prepping you for what will happen next week. So if you want to jump on, there will be nothing that is required, but sometimes a little pre-thought. And of course, you're always welcome to ask questions about the midterm during the labs. So there we go. The only thing in the playlist are going to be the recordings from these things. And I didn't bother with a recording from Monday because didn't really have any questions to do at that time. So there's no reading list, and there's resources and an estimator. So this week, no discussion board, no simulations, no collaboration activities. Everything will be about doing the best you can do on your midterm review template. I will be looking for more depth and focus and breadth of knowledge presented this time through. So that's cool, but some of you may freak out, go, what's that going to be like? So I made a, welcome in, Leah. I made a little grading estimator for you to look at. And it's kind of cool. If you go on here, this is where you can type in your grade. And for week 8, you can see what you need to get the grade that you want. So let's say you got an 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you go, okay, well, what do I need to get an A? you can type it in. Well, you're going to need a 10 to have an A. Sorry, I did the wrong thing there. Should have been there. Well, you're not going to get up to it. Okay? But maybe you've got 8s all the way through, or 8s and 9s. And look, oh my gosh. So you'll be able to figure out what you've gotten so far. You can type in your grades from the grade book and figure out what you got to kind of shoot for. So this thing isn't going to really make or break you in any way. And a B is a perfectly good grade. So is a C, actually. C is a passing grade. You learned the stuff. So, but I do grade a little bit tougher on this midterm review. So that's there for you to look at if you want. We've got some resources for you. There's one that's based on azimuth readings. There's one that's based on XYZ. Okay, a CSV file that you can use. And then there's your midterm review assignments, which I've got opened up over here. And so I'm going to just show you, each of you has been given a county to draw, a property to do, one of various azimuth angle survey records, and one of various XYZ files. Okay. So you'll just go to yours and get it. So this is your assignment file right there. Assignment file. So let's see what this is going to look like. This is what you'll turn in. Okay. You see there's 4 things on here. There's something called a Nearpod activity, which I'm going to demonstrate for you, I hope. At least how to get into it, and then you'll do it. So just fill this out like you always do. And then, let's see. Is there also... Let me look. I think I've got you... somewhere I need to give you the link to the folder that you're going to turn stuff into. I'll have to post that in here. There's a folder for you to put stuff into. And I'll show that to you in a minute. Oh, maybe I didn't do that on yours. I did that on DT301. So no, never mind. So let me go over the submittal. So there's something called a Nearpod. And it says right here, go to nearpod.com. So let me do that. I'm going to do it in a incognito, because otherwise it's going to log me in. Come on. I want that go in there. Oh, because it's incognito. That's why. So nearpod.com, and it comes up, and you should be able to join a lesson right here. Join a lesson. So let me go to, whoa, this is just not doing it for me right now. There we go. So here's the lesson. YJQEN. YJQEN. And join the lesson. It's going to ask you for your name. So I'll just put my name in there. And I'll join the lesson. And then you'll just start doing it. You'll read some. You'll answer some questions. If you want to record an audio, you have to tell it that you can. And you just go through and you submit. Submit it anyway. There we go. There we go. So here's just, yeah.
I have a question. How are the Nearpod ones graded?
Well, there are some answers to some of these, but I just look at them. I look at them and I just look and say, oh, like that one was easy, right? Because it was like, oh, there we go. But I have access to, as the instructor, to all these. Like this one, it can't grade it. So, whatever you drag in there, I'll look at it and I'll see. And I'll see if you've demonstrated good understanding of affirmatively furthering fair housing. And some of it is like, well, it's just kind of up to you. Like you guys will put stuff on here. Okay. And I'll just look and see if you put something on there and if it made sense. Kind of cool, huh? Kind of an easy little.
Yeah, I did one of them yesterday, and then I was like, "Wait, I might wanna wait to do the next one just to make sure that I'm
Oh
doing it
no,
right."
that's fine. And you can
Yeah.
actually do it over again if you want.
Okay.
But don't worry about it too much. It's worth a point. And so if you've gone through here, and like this one is like, we should have none of the above, but you should all put down designing at least, right? That's submit. And then this is your last slide. So hopefully you'll take an image of your last slide and put it on here just so that, and you know what? I'm going to go in here and look, so it doesn't really matter. But this would really be an ugly presentation if there was nothing else to do. Cool.
I was gonna ask about that too, if we needed to put something on that slide to show that we
Yeah,
finished.
just the it says the whatever the last just put your last one on here or the first one. It doesn't really matter, right? Because I see it up here that you say you did it or not. And right here is just something for me to look at. So that's it. That's it. Or you could put this one and see how you can go in and start over again. Right. So if I wanted to do this again, I could go, oops, no. I could go do it again if I felt like it. Doesn't matter. Okay. These ones are just thinking exercises, and rather than make you go back and write a whole bunch of stuff, did this one. The other one that we could do, and let me come back and do this again. Go to nearpod.com. And this one is Y5MJE. And this one's very much the same. So here's some things to do. You know, what do you do first? Here's the instructions, match the operation to the order number. So, you know, like number one and step four. Oh, no, that didn't work. Okay. You know, you just keep going until you got them. Here's a little thing, and here's a video recording of it, which isn't working. That's kind of a bummer. So don't worry about that. But you kind of know what these are by now. And so you take the quiz, and you can go back and forth. But here's the image if you need to see it again. Item number one is, you know, whatever it is. You get to, oops, my thing is going crazy here. So you can just go through this one and do the same thing. And anyway, open-ended questions. And there we go. And so you could take a snip of that one. This one isn't as cool because I made this one and a professor did the other one. You know, I had some professional help with a Nearpod professional to do the other one. So this one was mine and the other one was done by a Nearpod Pro. Okay, so that's how you'll do those. And they shouldn't take very long. However, this one might take you a little longer. Maybe not. So you would look up, and so Leah, you're going to do Butte County. And so you would make the map of Butte County. And I did these at random. It may be that I assigned you one that you've already done, which is even easier. I don't know. I just went through and I just assigned them. So you'll find yours. Eric, you'll do Plumas. May will do YOLO. JR will do Sierra, so on and so forth. And you'll do your county map and put it there. And then there's one of those property line things again. Oh no, I found a bunch of properties. So there's 3 or 4 of them, and you'll just go in, and this is on the map, right on the parcel map viewer, and you'll do the best you can to draw them. And I looked them over; they look like they're drawable, so that's cool. So you'll do that one and put it, and it would be good. It would be good if you had some sort of an image next to it, right? So if you were over here, if you could take a snip of what 2530 Hurley Way looks like and put it, say, right here, and then put your drawing here, and then maybe even put the data right here. You know, do a nice presentation of it. If you just do the drawing, you'll probably get a 7 or an 8. That'll be adequate. But if you really make it look like you knew what you were doing, I went to the parcel map, I opened up the sidebar, I took the data, I put it into a snip and rearranged it, and then I drew it. That would be kind of cool. That would be a really groovy thing. So you've got plenty of room to put some stuff on here to make it look pretty good. Same with this one, right? Here it is on Google Earth or Google Maps. I've decided to show the outline plus lakes and streams plus highways, right? Something that lets me know that you did some sort of a cool job. You should have a scale on there if you can get it, and all sorts of stuff. Do the best you can. So, you know, that can't be much more than an hour if you're taking your time, an hour if you're taking your time, half an hour. Hopefully, Leah, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, half an hour to an hour. This one shouldn't take you long at all. You're just going to type the answers down here. So this one should be 5 minutes worth of work. Okay. And this one should be 5 minutes worth of work. Now, I'll tell you, next week, we're going to start working when this is not level, when you have to shoot up a slope and to get to it. So next week, we're going to start working with this, which is why if I can do a little bit of background work this week with you in lab, that'll be cool. But if you want to have questions about how to do this stuff for now, you can do that. But these are just straightforward answers. And here's your azimuth drawing. Give me your survey record that was provided and your drawing. And here, you will need to make a survey record based on the CSV file that was provided. So I should maybe see the CSV and the survey record, and this will be your CAD drawing. Okay, so not too bad for a midterm review. You can do it whenever you want. When you submit this, remember you're going to do a file download as a PDF and submit that, right? File download as a PDF. Okay, and when you do, be sure to do your weekly certification and submit your Revit and AutoCAD files. I absolutely want to see, so I should probably add that onto here.
Do you want us to submit those separately when we add those in, or do you want us to put a link for it on the page?
Actually, please start that. actually put the file in. So download the file and submit it. Okay, so when you come to your modules, and let me go into a student view. Actually upload the files, and you can do add another file. So you should upload your PDF of your presentation, your Revit, and your AutoCAD, and then submit. Cool. Good question. We haven't done too much of that, so that'll be good. Now, if something goes wrong, you can submit multiple times. If you look on here, you will see unlimited attempts allowed. So you may not see your past attempts, but I do. They do not override each other. I see multiple submittals. So don't worry about it. However you get it in will be fine. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the grading rubric this time. So I'll want your best, now I'm going to be grading it not like you're just learning it now, but my expectation is that you are maybe not mastered this, but you're competent. So now the level is not, oh, I'm learning it, gets me an adequate grade, but I am competent gets me an adequate grade. So under technical content, accurate, meets industry standards, things that should have a scale should have a scale, things that are on specific line types and line weights should have those line types and line weights. Should show that you're able to really get that information and think it through and do it, and do independent work. I'm not demonstrating any of this time. So your technical content should be good. Your visual clarity, when you look at this, if this looks like this, well, that's kind of lousy. Or if it looks sort of like this, you're not really showing off that you've done some good stuff. Now, if you feel like it because you have some cool ones to do, you might put that there and put a couple of your own down here. Okay. You can also, if you want, delete these and kind of fill it up with ones that you've done, just to show that you've done a little bit more on here. Like, okay, there's that. Now, what is that? That would be something that that's annotative and describes that something happened. What is that one? And then maybe you've got some other ones that you want to show about your Fair Housing Act. Not required. This is all there is that you need to do. And if you do this, make it sort of large enough so that you can see it. And that's if you get rid of the other information. Otherwise, these would probably want to be over here and leave the other information over here. Okay? So I'm looking for really your high quality work. Visual clarity, that's sort of like this, and you might be looking at fonts and colors and how things look, and make sure that you're doing a good job with that. Particularly when you're doing a technical drawing, make sure that those are coming out nice, and that your snip, you blew it up as big as you can for your snip so that you can put it on there. Professionalism, you've got good annotations. You make sure that the reader fully understands the intent of the presentation. You might say a little bit about what this Nearpod activity is trying to get across. Okay, so it's more than just doing just that. More than just doing it, you should have something that says you did it, and maybe something that says the purpose of why we studied the Fair Housing Act. So that would be under professionalism, and then clearly demonstrates full understanding of the material to be used, learned. So there, I don't have any qualms. You've all presented fine work that shows that you've done that so far. You've been doing really nice work. You'll just want to keep up that good standard and pay close attention to everything so that you've done a nice job with it. Because now competent is my level 4. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And doing a good job is ready for entry level work. Competent, yeah, you've got it. You're pretty good. You'll be in between these somewhere. Okay, so a 7 is like a 0.7 on one of these. Would be, yeah, you did that fine. And a 1.0 is like, that was really cool. Okay? Any questions on that? That's kind of an up the ante a little bit. Yeah, I think that's all we've really got that needs to be gone over. Do you guys have any other questions? So, Leah, just what was your experience with the Nearpod? Was it pretty straightforward? Did it work technically and everything did okay?
Yeah, everything was pretty straightforward. I don't know what I was thinking I was gonna expect, but yeah, going through there, it wasn't really that hard. There were a couple of questions that let you know at the end whether you got the right answer or not, and then there were a couple of open-ended questions where you could put in your own words, and then the rest of it was basically just information. Um,
Right,
yeah, for
right.
everything. So it wasn't hard at all. I think I was just overthinking it when I had first gotten
Yeah.
into it. But yeah, it wasn't hard at all. And then I think that's why I was overthinking it because I'm like, okay, this is a midterm
Yeah.
and everything's supposed to be way hard, but I'm sure it'll make up for it on the other
Yeah.
slides.
Well, not really. I mean, I hate to say it, if I did a good job on teaching and you did a good job on learning, it should be pretty straightforward. Um, I just have to check that you've got it. So, I know some people, oh, let's see, let's do a 2,000 word essay on something that you just read yesterday. No, that's not, that to me is not testing that you've learned what we need. It's testing whether you're good at thinking on your feet and spewing stuff out. Um, so that's cool. Okay, that's good. And
So if we feel confident in our work and are able to get it in earlier, then obviously that's fine for us to turn it
yep,
in early, right?
yep, yep,
Okay. And then if we decide later on that we should have added something, we can resend it in
yep,
as long as it's before the
yep,
deadline.
yep.
Okay.
No problem. But look, that's why I did this thing, or the calculator, right? I mean, let's look, just to be honest, most people are getting tens, nines and tens unless they didn't do it. Let's just say that these are all nines, with a couple of tens. Look, you can get a 7, maybe even a 6. You can get a 6 on this thing and
That's
still
crazy.
be at an A because it's only worth 1/8 of what you've done so far. Okay, I don't weight this at a higher level than the other ones. I grade it at a higher level, but I don't make it more important than any of the others. So you don't have to worry too much. You guys know what a county map should look like, and you know what a property line site plan property line map should look like, and you know what it should look like when you do your azimuth angles, and you know what it should look like when you put it in a Revit by now. Everybody has demonstrated that they can do good work. So I'm actually not too concerned about it. And you should be able to take, I mean, this is a 5 unit class. You should be able to take a good 9 hours on this. And so that's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an hour apiece. And this one shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. This one shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. And I'm guessing the Nearpod should take you, just because you got to read it through and, you want to make sure that you're doing it okay, half an hour to an hour. So, you know, I think it's right in there for you. Cool. Alrighty-o. Any questions before we log off?
No, that was very helpful. Thank you.
Cool.
I have a quick question,
Okay.
but I'm not sure if you want to have it on recording.
Okay.
It's just about my actual AutoCAD.
Okay, let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and stop the recording.